I would like to procure the bag.
I wanna be a rich bitch. Penthouse doorman, money, 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 rich bitch. Hey, give me that bag. Rich bitch.
Yes, you're so rich.
Oh my God.
It usually is. Oh my God.
Oh my God. It's going to be a bomb episode.
It's going to be a bomb episode. Are we allowed to say that? Bomb.
Oh, fuck. Bomb.
You know how, like, when you're in an airport,
Bomb.
you're not allowed to say certain
Well,
things.
we're on the internet, so.
We're on the internet.
I think we're
although
not allowed to say many things.
My thoughts are just like, you know, the AI bots that are read SEO,
yeah.
that are like, they said bomb on
They're
this
like,
podcast,
they
and now
are-
all of a sudden we're on a flight risk list or
I
some
think we
shit.
say other things that are far
Worse.
we talk
I
about
know, all the
anything here. I
things.
feel like
Yeah.
I mean the podcast is I want to be a rich bitch. I feel like they're not
True.
really
Bitch
like, but
is-
do they have bombs?
Bitch
These
is not
bitches have bombs.
though. I want to be a rich bomb.
I want to be a rich bomb. Guys, I'm sorry.
Oh my
Not
God.
good. Okay.
Happy Saturday. It's a
Happy
Saturday that
Saturday.
we're recording this. We're in person. We're in Sarah's living room.
You damn straight.
For
With the
those of
puss-
us who still don't believe that we hang out in person.
we do all the time. They need to understand
They need
that.
to understand. We're also busy.
Oh my God, we're
Sarah
so
is
busy.
one of the most busy people that I know, aside of my friend Catherine Quinn, who just will not quit and doesn't.
Quinn won't quit.
Quinn won't quit. I
Sarah
have
won't
so
stop,
much respect
Quinn
for
won't
her.
quit?
Sarah won't stop. Yeah. Edward's exhausted.
Edward is out. Edward is exhausted.
Yes, well, but especially because I started my
Good
new
job!
So, listeners, we've had episodes before where I've been like, maybe by the next time this is airing, I'll have a job.
But this
It
is
has
that
happened.
time.
It has happened. I'm going to keep the name of the place out of my mouth.
Cool.
For security purposes.
Makes sense.
My job is wonderful.
Okay.
I love it.
Great.
I have like my own little office cubicle situation.
Oh my God.
And I have
my
like
God.
a little succulent on it. And I brought hand lotion for when your air conditioning hands get tired from and crispy from typing. And
You have lotion
I
for
love
your hands.
I love the team. The people are great. One
He's
of them,
hugging himself currently.
I'm hugging myself. I'm playing with my big titty dum dums.
big titty dum dums.
And
Big titty dum dums.
one of the girls in the office, she brought donuts in the other day. And she sent out a little Teams message, and I wrote her back. I was like, "You are pure evil." And she was like, "This is why we're all gonna get along here."
Oh, work.
She's like, "I'm an evil bitch." I was like, "Yes, I love it." So
Wow.
everyone on the floor is fantastic. I love them, and it just feels really like bougie and fancy in my like new corporate work clothing that I bought. Yeah, it's been kind of dreamy. It's also been a really tough adjustment because like my
Sure.
brain does not do 9 to 5, 24 hours a day. And it's been a nice change. I like it. It's getting into the routine. I really went really hard
Okay.
for the first couple days. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, we're at the starting line. We're going to start out strong. And I woke up at 5 a.m. and I went to the gym and I worked out and I came home and
What are
I
you, a
showered
psychopath?
and I
Keep
did my
going.
morning pages and then I got dressed
Ah.
and I left my apartment. I did that for 2 days in a row.
Okay.
By day 3, Tuesday afternoon,
Yeah.
this is day 2 now of me doing this, I almost fell asleep standing up because I can make my desk a standing desk, which I'm
right.
obsessed with.
That's awesome.
And I almost fell asleep standing up. So I was like, okay, time to sit down. And by the time I got home that night, my legs were so fried from working out, standing at my desk, doing all the things, that like my ankles were swollen. Like old lady grandma swollen. It was bad.
Like a pregnant woman.
Like a pregnant woman.
Damn.
And so Wednesday, I got up early, but I just stretched on my floor and like rolled my back out with my foam roller. And then Thursday and Friday, I just slept in.
I think that's the way to
Because
go.
I was like, I can't. This is
so
this
what
is rough.
time do you have to be there?
I have to be there at 9.
Oh,
you know,
that's not too bad.
No, and like the getting up at 5 thing and being there at 9, like I've already had a whole day. You
Wow,
know,
yeah.
it's kind of nice.
No, that's great.
And
In
I
theory.
did this time last year. I was doing the get up at 5 a.m. thing.
I remember.
I did it for a couple months, and then I just got really burned out of it.
Yeah.
But I really like doing it. I just need to not start at 100 because my body was like, "What are you doing
Why? Get out.
right
Leave
now?"
Right now. I'm the problem. It's me. Yeah.
It was a lot. But it was a good week, and I'm happy to be there.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for this, and the people in the office are stellar.
Great.
It's going to be fun.
How's the work?
kind of easy.
Great.
I hate saying that
it's
because
fine.
like I was talking to my mom earlier and I was like, I think theater people, especially those of us who have like produced things
Oh, God.
or have like made our own
It's so
projects
much.
are so used to going at 700 miles an hour that
Oh,
when
yeah.
we're not going 700 miles an hour, we feel like we're being lazy assholes.
Yes.
And so, like, sitting at this desk, I don't have things to do all day. I just got there.
Right.
You know, like, I'm kind of picking up the pieces from the person who was filling in before me before I got there.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of creating my own systems for what works for me and what works for them.
Wonderful.
And I love that.
Yeah, me
but
too.
it's not hard for me to do that because I've been doing it for so long with like spreadsheets and lists.
And also, like, I think as people who have been in all different lifestyles, things that we've done, things that we've, jobs we've had, things, you know, it's like, of course you're adapting great. Like you know how to
we've had
freaking
to.
create
Yeah.
your own way to do something. You
Absolutely.
know?
And
Yeah.
so like that's kind of the only like anxiety I have about it, which
Sure.
is completely made up in my own head because like I am doing the job and I'm doing it really well. I'm doing it thoroughly and efficiently.
Good.
And it
I believe it.
feels easy.
Right.
And so I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop for them to be like week 3. It's like, okay, I want you to do these 700,000 things. They need to be done by 5. And honestly, at that point, I'll be like, great.
You're like, thank God.
Thank God.
Rain on me.
Rain on me. I want to go home ragged.
Ragged. Wore out.
I want to fall asleep on the
Tattered.
subway platform.
Scattered. Yeah.
I don't actually want to do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Please don't put that
But
on.
it's been a great first week, and I'm so glad to be there. And it's a relief, and it is about time.
Oh my God, I'm so
and
happy.
it is Monty, and I am
it's so-
going
it's
to
so
be a
much.
rich bitch as soon as I
are.
pay some of these things off.
Listen, she's developing. The rich bitch is on her way.
She's
in the car
fledgling.
now.
She's in the car.
She was going like this for a while, you know.
She had her thumb out.
Her thumb out and just on the road. And now she's in the vehicle.
Right.
But she might have to do some things to get her
and that's
to
totally
the next
okay.
place.
I'm-
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm not proud. I'm not
no,
about
no, no,
that,
no.
you know?
None of us are. Hello.
But yeah, so that's that.
That's so exciting. I'm so happy for you. And I'm sorry that I've been so damn busy when you started your thing.
I mean, I wouldn't have been able to see you anyway. Like,
That's true. That's true. But I want to pop in for lunch. I want to wear a sickening
can probably find
rodeo
out.
drive ensemble.
I can find out if I can make that happen because we have like these beautiful pantries that are like kitchenettes.
Well, I just want to like visit you and be like, "Hi, darling.
Hello,
How are you?
darling.
Shall we go to the
Let
balcony?"
me find out if I can do that. I don't see why not. I would have to. There's like a whole security thing,
That's
so like
hot.
I would just have to get you registered and all the things. But
That's
like
fine.
I'm sure we
That's
could.
like
I'll find out.
building stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. No, I just think it would be fun because we'd be like, "Ladies who lunch." I'll wear my purple, $2,800 rodeo drive
Yes.
power suit.
And just show up and be like, I have a meeting.
Hi, I'm here to I don't know, acquire. And they're
Some
like,
assets.
What? And they're like, just let me acquire. Yeah.
Yeah.
Micro, macro.
Investing.
Yeah. Yeah, spreadsheets.
Yes,
And they're like,
it's-
okay.
it
They're
is
like,
a-
is she a prostitute? Get her out of here.
Like, is she
she okay?
Is she for hire?
We like her. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but it's super grateful. And I worded this for someone else who texted me about this once I had said that it was my first day at my new job and blah, blah, blah on the socials. And a friend of mine messaged me and she was like, how are you feeling about where you're at? Because this is what I was doing when I was in my 20s. Like, this was my answer to not having to wait tables.
Yeah.
And I said to her, I wish I would have stuck with it because I'd be making so much money. We talked about this before. And then she said, do you regret leaving it? And I was like, no.
No.
And the way that I worded it was, I'm glad to be back. And everything between then and now was just a big, beautiful wrinkle in time.
Yeah.
And I was like kind of impressed with myself
Yeah, that's
because I was like, that's great. Cause it's true.
That is
It
true.
feels very much like 20-year-old me. And now 7-year-old me
yeah,
is
for
like,
sure.
it's like,
27-year-old.
it's attaching. And it's just like this little divot of wrinkle in my timeline of like this wonderful life that I've led.
Yeah.
Of like performing all over the country and doing all the things.
Oh my God, you would be a totally different person.
A totally different
you
person.
might be a sociopath. No, I'm just kidding. You would be-
I mean, maybe.
No, never, not you. But you would be different.
And my
wouldn't
whole
have
life would be
your
different.
book like the way it is,
Yeah.
and you wouldn't be who you are, and we would never have met.
Yeah, and I kind of view this as like a second chance.
Yeah.
Because what we talked about before, like
Right.
the amount of money I was making at that age and
Yeah.
having a career as a creative, with a corporate job.
Yeah.
You know, like now I get to do that with that in mind and being conscious of it instead of just like, oh, this job that one day I'll get out of because I'm going to have a career doing. It's like, no, I don't want to get out of this job. I want to stay here. I want to make money and stabilize myself so that I can afford to make whatever the fuck I want.
Exactly.
And like, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to make it happen.
I love that.
I can't wait.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
Well, you're already on your way, and I think that's really half the battle is also believing in yourself to keep going. I mean, you were dealing with a lot of things on top of like, which we all do, but we had a pandemic of it all. We've had we've had a strike. We've had a whole mess of things going down.
We've had a drinking problem.
Yeah, sure. You can hear it all out. I mean, I was like, we have a libations. We have wars starting and going.
Don't get
and
me started.
I'm not going to get into that, but I'm just saying like. I was talking about Ukraine and then the Middle East. It just keeps going. And it's like, there's just so much happening. And I think that what you really should, and you've had some moments with employers and you've had some other, but all of that has led you here. And I think that's really what this is about. And also I think the main thing of being a rich bitch is fucking hanging in there.
Yeah.
And believing in yourself.
Listener, you are seeing this happen in real time.
Yeah, you literally watched it happen.
You are listening to me becoming a rich bitch in real time. And now we're getting the dollars.
We're getting the dollars, the bones. We're getting it all. Yeah, I mean, put the dollars on the table. I mean, seriously, you are getting that money. You are getting that stability. But also, like, mentally, like, it has to be such a huge weight lifted.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Because even we'll get into the strike. Oh, my God, it's over. We'll get into my rich bitch moment. But I think that there's a lot of relief here.
So much. I had a good cry.
Oh, my God, I was going to ask you.
I had a good cry.
I know.
Well, my recruiter called me.
Yeah.
I was temping at this exact office for 3 days. Mm-hmm. And the first day that I was headed in, it was a Friday morning.
Yes.
And I had just had my third interview with them Thursday evening.
Yeah.
And I'm on the train platform waiting for the train to come. And I get a call from my recruiter. And I'm like, if you are calling to tell me that they don't need me anymore and I am halfway there already, I'm going to lose it. Because that has happened to me before. Not with this recruiter, but with another one.
Ew.
And hateful.
Hateful.
And so I picked up and I was like, hello. And she was like, hi, I know you're probably on your way in, but I couldn't keep this to myself any longer. You got the job. And I just like stood on the train platform and I was like, oh my God. I was like, the train's pulling in. Let me call you when I get to my office.
And this was the office that you were hired
Same
in?
office. I mean, it was a different floor.
Well, it would be awkward if you were like on your way to another job and you're like, I got it,
right.
or whatever.
Or I didn't get it and I was on my way to the
that's
office.
even worse. Never mind. That's way worse. Sorry.
Way worse.
Yeah.
And then I had to sit there and be like, yeah, well, I got passed over for this job.
Oh, it's you?
Right.
Guy that just walked in here? Woman, whatever? Oh, it's you?
Yeah, I'm going to throw you down the elevator shaft.
Yeah, you're dead now.
I mean, honestly, the views up there alone, if you ever come to visit, the views, it's like I'm on the 40-something floor.
I love a good high.
And like some of these beautifully decorative old Gilded Age buildings that stretch that high are stunning. And it's like face to face right out the window.
Wow.
It's lovely and beautiful. We love.
That's so good.
Like, oh my God, the drama on TikTok with like this theater in the Midwest. Oh my God.
I don't know anything about this.
There's this theater in the Midwest called Circa 21. I've never worked there. I've come close, but from what I've heard in the past, like I was like, I don't need to work there. We're good. But this woman who was, I believe, their stage manager took to TikTok and was like, I was just wrongfully terminated for protecting a rape victim. Where there was a witness and whatever, and they still made her go out on stage and perform with her rapist in this show. And it was and this woman's like kind of tearing up and sobbing while she's telling this story. And there was a follow-up video and she recorded the meeting that they called where they read this like very PR sterilized lawyer message about what they're going to do moving forward. And she yelled at them in the meeting and called them out this, that, and the next thing. And it totally made them look like they had egg on their face. Like there was nothing that they could do and say, no, that's not what happened. We've seen it. I think 1 million people now have seen it.
Wow.
It's nuts. But like, it's so disheartening because like shit, like, and the poor woman didn't want to report it to the police.
Sure,
like she was afraid.
And now she's
in the
out there as a person who was.
I will say the stage manager was very good at not saying the show, not giving names, like whatever. So she protected these people.
Yeah.
from that, at least, except for she did mention the owner and the people who mishandled and mismanaged the whole situation.
Oh, God.
So there's now all this drama on TikTok where people are like, girl, you get a lawyer. Like, this is like you were
is
wrongfully
insane.
terminated.
Yeah.
This is retaliation, this, that, and the next thing. And you know what? I never want to see small theaters lose. But when something like that happens,
Yeah.
I'm just like, burn it down.
Abuse.
Start
Abuse of any
start
form.
over. Yeah.
Obviously, this is tainted. It's abuse. It's systemic.
It's bad.
And if it's happening within a small little theater, you can only imagine. Like,
Of course, it's happening. It happens everywhere. We know this. Like, it's happened to me at other theaters. I've seen it happen to other
Yeah.
people.
I've had stuff happen to me. Not anything like rape, but I've been touched inappropriately and reported it and got reprimanded. It's my fault because of how I look, and it's really disturbing when you're like 16 and you're like, why? But here's the thing. The good thing is I think we have to talk about these things because it makes people feel empowered when if something were to happen, or to be an ally.
Exactly.
Because luckily I've always been that bitch. So when that woman told me, another woman, ironically, that it was my fault because of how I looked and how I dressed, which was just like anyone else, especially at the time I wasn't dressing any particular, but it doesn't matter, that this happened to me. I literally was like, well, you're wrong. I can't wait to share my parents this information. You might lose your job. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, I was immediately like,
that.
yeah, I literally was like, you're an idiot. How are you so much older than me? And you are such a bitch. And
Well,
you're dumb.
because that generation like didn't grow up with that empowerment.
I'm sure something happened to her once, and she just wants to, or she resents me in some
Sure.
form. Who fucking knows?
Yeah, but like it's all of that to say that when you call it out, whether it's publicly on the internet with amongst friends or whatever,
Sure.
you take that, not just that person's power away, but then you make other people pay attention that you're the person that is not to be fucked with.
Not today, baby.
Not today, baby. And like, again, I don't want to see a small theater do badly, but like if that's how you're going to manage, all of us have grown up in an entertainment world of some form where we were told to just behave and fall in line and be compliant and, don't speak out and don't cause trouble because you don't want to be the difficult person.
Yeah.
You want to work here again. Oh, I hope they hire me again in the future.
And it's on sets. I mean, I don't think it's as bad because I feel like there's more advocacy on sets. But I even, knowing like how Katherine Heigl was treated, she was so quote unquote difficult and she lost all that work. And then you find out later it's like she just was asking for things that were, I'm sure maybe she had a day that was shitty or whatever. But how many men are like screaming drunk on set and they're like, he's fine.
He's a star.
Just stand him up. He's a great guy. Come on. Only that one time that he
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nowadays I think she would still have she has a career still. She still produces and does stuff.
Yeah.
But my point is I think she was on skyrocketing and she went down when people were like, she's difficult. And there was no real like evidence or like, what does that mean?
And to me, difficult only means that you're not willing to be taken advantage of.
Right.
So like be difficult.
Be difficult. Be good.
Right.
Be fucking good.
Right.
Be professional.
Be
but
difficult in a way that is like,
the right way.
Right.
Right.
I don't even really know how to phrase it.
I think that brings, honestly, I'm going to go to it. That brings us to the strike of it all. We were not complacent with AMPTP. We were very difficult.
Yeah.
And that's how we ended this.
And got what we wanted.
That's how we ended this.
Yeah.
I have to say, when I was, okay, so we had just gotten off our thing, right? And I was in the shower. I'm literally like, so tired. I know we both were tired. I think I'd done something that day, maybe 3 things, and you had done things, and then we had a thing, and then we had, we had done our thing.
It was a long
our
day.
Sandwich day.
Yeah.
Layers.
That was the day that I almost like fell asleep standing up at my desk.
That's the day. I remember.
It was
and
nuts.
So I was also tired, not falling asleep standing up, but she was tired. So I'm in the shower. I'm literally washing my hair, and my phone is like flipping out. It's like, and I'm like, what is happening? Like people are calling me, texting me. It's like going off like crazy, and I'm like, something bad happened. You know what I'm saying? So I open up my phone, and I have a Galaxy Z Flip. Sorry, it opens. Anyway, I open up my phone because I didn't really make any sense what I'm saying, and I open her, and I see the text, and someone's like, "It's over. The strike is over." And I just paused and was like,
what?
Is this for real? And so then I was like, let me Google this. I'm not gonna, and there it is in Deadline, and it just had come out like 2 minutes or maybe a minute ago.
Yeah.
Okay. But the union hadn't said anything, which means just as normal AMPTP shit, their direct line to Deadline, which exists because they always put out this really gotcha head. No famous people are on the line or whatever Variety or Deadline. And you're like, bro, that's absolutely the opposite, but okay. And I was like, this is such a direct line to the MPTP. It's like somebody from the MPTP is like, please write this, or PR, please. But so the fact that it leaks so quickly, I think they did it before sag-aftra could be like, yo, we did it. Just some last minute petty shit.
Yeah.
But so I see it, and I'm like, I want to get excited. I'm in shock right now.
Right. But I shouldn't.
But I can't until the union, the people that actually give a fuck, that actually are on the right side of history. It's like you hear it from like a conglomerate, and you're like, let me just
hang on a minute.
Let me hear it from the horse's mouth, baby. Let me hear it from the people I
bring
trust.
That horse over here.
Bring Bessie right over. That's a cow. Bring Stormy
right
Daniels right over. Anyway, she's not a horse. I just love her name, and it sounds like a horse.
Yeah.
Anyway. They bring that. I'm like, wait for that. Mr. Ed to come on over with that peanut butter.
Yeah.
So anyway, finally, I just go, I got to find out. So I found out in ways, and people confirmed, and I was like, okay, let's see what happens. Please, though, I still don't feel like it's real. And then the union came out with the thing, and that's when I just like,
yes,
I just thought about all the things I've done. All the things we've talked about on here.
In the last 120 days.
Literally.
Yeah.
We've talked about months and months. We've talked about how insane this whole situation is. How what we're asking for is like LOL. Like straight up. It's literally like
cents on the dollar for them.
Cents on the fucking dollar. And it's for like us being the face of the thing that made you millions. And you're like... No. And it's like, what? It's like nothing we're asking for is going to even hurt you. In fact, it's going to make better creativity. Anyway, so I remember just every day too, in the rain, in the heat, in the cold, screaming, chanting, trying to uplift, trying to play songs that mean something to me, creating playlists, creating chants that go with a hey, ho, ho, go, Greedy's got to go. Or like my neck, my back, we got a fair contract, is now we got a fair contract.
Iconic. You will go down in history.
I mean, Ava Spoon is the co-author. She is a goddess, and she was my I don't know, she's my picket gal, and we were on, our picket was the first site. It was Hudson Yards, HBO, or Max, whatever her fucking name is. And we would always say the hottest club is on 10th Avenue between 32nd and 33rd before 12 noon, y'all.
Outside of the HBO studios.
And it was that. It was a gag. And doing that for so long and being on the board and running for re-election and honestly taking jobs that normally I'm like, they're not shitty. They're great work.
Right.
But it's like normally I wouldn't have to do those things.
Right.
Normally I would be like, oh, between this and a little that, Sarah's booking for she's good. She's an actress.
Well, now you get to be.
I know. And what's actually was surprising too is like, even during the strike, there's that sense of like, I never wanted to lead this whole thing with a doom and gloom fear mentality.
Right.
Because some of the things I was seeing from people I respect and people that it disappointed me, frankly, was the doom and gloom of it all. They're not going to do anything till December. They're not going to do anything to... A, you have no fucking idea, baby. 2, that's all that's doing is making everyone feel like it's hopeless out there. Why am I picketing for 2 months when that's a certainty? It's never a certainty.
Yeah.
Negotiations are negotiations. You go in the room, the negotiators don't even know how much longer we have for this. Fran spoke of at the press conference that's now live that she was going to go to bed and think on some things. And she was like, I don't know if we're going to get these things. In the middle of the night, Duncan Crabtree Ireland was like, we got them both, gal. And you don't even, like in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
1-2 punch, Boo Boo and Fran. I mean, those two are,
the two of them are just
Duncan
the best.
and the Fran of it all. Oh, I love them.
Someone needs to write like
Duncan and Fran.
story. Or
Oh my God, there was like a
TV
rumor
show
that
about
they were
them.
like seeing each other, and I was like, he is fully a gay man with 5 kids.
Well,
and
although-
she's Fran Drescher.
But also, like, fully a gay man, I would date Fran Drescher.
That's true. Exactly. I was like,
Because
That's
she's
true.
because she's fabulous.
she is
Like,
fabulous, truly.
yeah.
Wouldn't we all? Sorry, President, love you.
She's
Fran,
just
you're good. No,
iconic.
Shredder.
Absolutely love her.
Absolutely love her. We just think you're a gal. But anyway, she is incredible. The whole negotiating team's incredible. But while they're all exhausted and fighting these human beings that a lot of them are sociopathic to the point where you're just like, you don't even know what a person is. You haven't been around people for years. You don't really know. I'm not speaking for all of them, but there's so much wealth there and conglomerate and non-creativity that it's like they thought we were insane for wanting to get money for what we do.
You want
They
to
were
be
like,
paid?
but you're my peons. You're my puppets. I give you a little crank and you do it, and it was
I
like,
give you a little crank.
and they're like,
Well, it also like that. What you're saying about that, it kind of reminds me of my friend Dion from way back in the day. He and I worked together in the famous Reno hairspray situation that I did.
oh, spray me.
Ooh. But
Reno.
I remember one time we were talking amongst a couple of us, and he said something like his mother or his grandmother always said, "Never let someone give you breadcrumbs and call it a meal."
Yes.
And that has stuck with me for over a decade. And what you're saying about these people, like the peons wanted me to pay them.
come on.
Because for so long they've gotten away with giving us breadcrumbs
Yes.
and being like, look at this meal we're giving you.
Right. Well, the problem is
trapped.
too was gaslighting because
Right.
in the past it wasn't like they were openly like. So I don't know if you know this, but what we would do is do the TV theatrical contract that used to be all the networks, not the streaming networks. And this was just our last negotiation was related to that, and we had a separate contract with just Netflix. We
okay.
Netflix wasn't even a part of the MPTV.
Wow.
Like just our last that's how fast this has accelerated.
Yeah.
So we were coming to this like, wait, you guys kept loading the veil up and being like, there's not that many people that watch it. Truly, no. And then when things leaked, and we're like, okay, yeah,
Wow.
no.
Millions of people
Yeah,
have watched
literally,
this, right?
literally, Succession alone. But Netflix especially is raggedy with
Yeah.
the way. I mean, the stories of and I think we've talked about this, the Orange is the New Black gals having to pay their own
Right,
living
that's
while they're the
insane.
stars of a goddamn show.
And, like, world famous.
Netflix,
Get it together.
get your fucking life,
Well,
bitch.
and this was also something that I was talking to our friend from the agency
Yeah.
That I now work with.
Yeah.
And she was like, you just have to picture like the people that make these decisions. Like imagine like a 23-year-old who's never left his mom's basement who watches anime all day.
Yeah.
It's like that's literally who you're dealing with.
I wish
They
I would
don't
go
know
with that
who these
person.
people-
Well, I'd be like, have you seen
Right.
Pokemon?
But like I mean like
Okay, sorry.
just
Sailor Moon?
the
Okay.
trope of it all.
Yeah.
And
Basement
it's like not
dwelling.
how old studios were. It's
Right.
just like these fucking nerds and who want numbers and
Yeah.
growth and money and
Yeah.
blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Which I get. It's a business.
No, I
You need
kind
to
of
make
wish
the
it was
money.
more. I mean, it is that, but it's still Bob Iger, Zaslav. It's still
At the
old
top,
ass
of
white
course,
dudes
yes.
right now. Yeah.
Right. But I mean like they're not the decision makers down here.
No.
They pulled puppet strings and
Yeah.
and
But
delegate.
they came to the well, this is what's crazy. They never the big four came to our place. Like they came to SAG-AFTRA for these last meetings. We didn't go to them.
tail between their legs.
Yeah. So like my thing was like that was no, and I will give them credit to Iger.
Yeah, that's big of them.
That's huge to have these really powerful human beings who like previously have never been questioned, essentially.
Yeah.
Come to us to make a deal because they know shit's getting wacky and they have to do something.
Yes.
I'm sure they're getting pressure from so many people.
Shareholders.
Yeah, shareholders,
their board.
famous people, the
Yes.
board, production studios, blah, 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 blah. Everybody. So I'm just happy that they were able to make a deal. And I just have to say, and to go back to the moment it hit me, it was just like all these things that hit me were like, I have been literally like, I've gotten sick before outside. Not that I get sick a lot ever really, but I did get one time because I was in the rain for too long picketing, but it just meant so much to me. And then and then I did another thing right after. I should have gone home and just taken a hot shower and been like, stop. But just like we had to just do these things all the time while living our full lives, while pursuing acting. Like I still booked like commercials and things, but it was like, It's exhausting when while you're trying to be a person, you're also trying to fight for your rights as a artist, but in your whole this is my whole life.
Yeah.
If this went away, sure, I have a great
You'd figure it
relationship.
out.
I'm fucking killing. I have my own business, blah, 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 beep, 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 blah, blah. But this industry is my heart. This is where I grew up. This is what I wanted to do my whole life, and I do. And I worked so hard to get to this point, and to have it just, to do like that, I never once, though, thought it would go. I never once, though, thought we would lose, because we had everything. They have nothing. They think they had everything, and we have everything they want.
Of course. Well, and I will also say, to your point of like, if this would go away, as someone who has experienced what I spent my entire life doing go away.
Yeah.
Like, it sucks, but having something else, and we're all smart, we'll all figure it out. But having something else for me has been the most valuable thing in that lesson, because it can go away. It can go away at any moment,
any
and
industry.
whether that's like
Pandemic, everything went away.
Exactly. So like being able to just chameleon yourself into something else, or reinvent yourself, or however you want to phrase it.
Yeah.
Like, I just think that is the most valuable thing to
100%.
be able to have something else and not make your whole life about the one thing.
No.
Because I think in the long run, eventually it does go away.
Sure.
For you, whether it's by choice and you're like, I need to be out and dip, or things don't happen as much for you anymore, or whatever the case may be, it's like, well, then I always have this that I can go to, and that's fine.
Yeah, and I just think, but my thing is like, it's the whole industry. Like, I could do a print thing, or I could become a creative at whatever, or I could write a script, it gets sold and blah blah blah. These are all so many different things, but all in this like industry.
Yeah, and
it's just the thought of this industry, going away was such a bummer. But I also have, like you said, all these other things I do. But but I don't want to be a hobbyist. This is my fucking craft. This is what I love.
Yeah.
And it's like, it was so annoying, frankly. I don't know. Our refrigerator's haunted. Anyway, it was so annoying. And we're going to watch Dr. Sleep later. That people were just such, like, there's a lot of doom and gloom, not from our side. I just mean in general. It's just like, oh God, like it's,
mean, I think I'm not a doom and gloom person.
No.
But I think in the scenarios in which they, like, SAG-AFTRA was negotiating with the AMPTP, especially AI specifically, there needed to be a real conversation about the dangers of this getting
100%.
And like, I can totally see how that would be interpreted as doom and gloom.
Oh, no.
But it was necessary in certain circumstances to
100%.
be like, I mean, that we talked about this before with Scarlett Johansson's suing for someone using her voice on a commercial she didn't do. Like, it would just be more of that over and over and over again. And these conglomerates have enough money and legal team that they would just bury you in paperwork and you would never see the light of day. And so then why bother fighting it? And that would be a precedent that would be set by something like this not coming through.
Right. But we have the law, we have everything on our side. So it's like, when I say doom gloom, I mean like, whatever, actors, you're spoiled. You don't need any of this.
Oh yeah,
you're
that's just ignorance.
Well, that's what I mean. Like there was a lot of like, why even just go away, Hollywood? You're trash. I'm like, I'm not Hollywood. I'm an actor.
Right.
Do you know? So that's what I meant. Is like,
I would like to be Hollywood.
I mean, I already kind of am, but you know what I mean. Like, you know what I mean? I don't live there. I don't
I don't want to live there.
I do. Like a couple times,
Be like
off
maybe
and on.
a weekend a month.
Oh yeah, I used to love going about 6 times a year to pitch shows and to audition. That's awesome. Or I'd like to be bi-coastal, but New York is me home.
Same.
I love me home.
Me home.
Me home. But so that's not it makes me think of like I've never been all my eggs in one basket. It was just I hate it when something that is completely out of my control punishes everyone for its greed. This isn't just like I had a life with someone for 11 years, married them, and it was gone in like a matter of, I don't even know.
Yeah.
And I was fine.
Yeah.
This and that. You have other things. But it's like the thought that like something that's not just me, but is like everyone who's ever wanted to work in this industry is going to be fucked by like 5 people.
Yeah. That's
it just was like such a fucking dick.
It's depressing to think about, but
it didn't, and we won.
Exactly. It doesn't matter now because we won.
It doesn't fucking matter. But my point is like my mind kept going to like, look at all these people I've met on the line. Look at all these massive, close ties I have with human beings that I hadn't had before in that way. A fight for the rights of all of us, and this is a historical thing.
Yeah.
I got to meet incredible human beings and
Oh my God,
and
yeah.
watch the fight for this wonderful thing that we do. And I don't know, man, it hit me. And there were moments where I cried. There were moments where I was like sad and happy, and sad only because I don't want to fucking do that shit anymore. And I'm glad we won, but sad that like you create this, like, I hate the word tribe. It's dumb as fuck. You create this community of people that like are in it to win
I
it.
found my tribe.
Yeah, I hate that white woman shit. I don't want to say that shit.
No, but I know what you mean. It's
Do
like,
you know what I
it's
mean?
like you have, even though you're there for bad reasons.
Yes, we created stories in our
you've
lives.
created good out of it.
Bonds.
And now that it's over, it feels like you're losing something.
It's like when people, when men in like history, I used to read like so much stuff like about war and First World War I and II and like what was life like in the trenches. And a lot of men that went to war would say the same thing. They're like, I don't want to ever fucking do that again. I don't ever want to be in that situation. But I made this like band of brothers. Like I made this like this group of humans that, and we knew we were, you know, they were fighting for the right thing.
Right.
You know,
it's kind of trauma bonding. You know, like
it is.
It really is.
It is
in different ways, and I totally
it's activism too, and I love that shit.
Yeah, and I completely get it too. You know, like of course you're gonna bond and become close with people who are all like-minded and want similar things.
Yeah.
And
are also
all
different, but
physically together.
Yeah.
Regardless of their differences,
Exactly.
and everything else. So,
it's beautiful.
I mean, it really is, and it's definitely going to be a summer/fall to remember.
It will never be forgotten
for the books. And let's hope we never have to do it again.
Yeah, let's never do it again. But we did it, and we won. And I just think, and I loved that the world was on our side.
Yeah.
I loved that.
So hard.
Oh, so hard. Like there was nothing. That's when I knew. It's like, there's no question we're going to win because they've won strikes that the world wasn't on their side, where it was very anti-union in this country.
Yeah.
And honestly, what I love about this especially is the ripples it's created in the country and the world for labor.
Yes.
Nonstop.
Well, and that was like the WGA obviously started it, but the SAG-AFTRA of it all was like really the domino that made everything else fall, because then you had the nurses, the teachers, the auto workers, every fucking buddy
Airlines.
on strike, airlines. And I hope that it continues, and I hope that
it will,
the conversation,
because they're winning. Every single strike is
exactly. And I just saw the auto worker one too. That was amazing,
incredible.
But like,
they're the strongest union ever. Auto workers, good luck.
Yeah. But I really hope that it continues to embolden people to join unions and stop it with this like negative Nancy, like
I hate that.
Unions hurt the worker narrative, which like had been put into the groundwater for so long. And now I think this is finally a moment in history where we can see that is fully not true. It is not foolish to join a union.
That's the man trying to make you feel that way.
Exactly. And really every single industry, regardless of pecking order or level of skill work or whatever, should all be unionized. It doesn't matter if you are in a call center or at McDonald's or doing whatever. It doesn't matter if you want workplace protections.
You need someone to advocate for you.
Exactly. And this was, and like that is, well, and two things, especially because if the people at the top are going to keep doing what they're doing. Yeah. Then the workers at the bottom are going to be taken advantage of forever. Yep. There has to be some kind of unionization. Yes. Across the board. Like even when COVID stuff started lifting, I was like, I hope that they start an essential worker union. Yeah. And if you are considered to be one, that you are in it and that you can take these people to task. Yeah. I love unions too because they're always some are very specific to their trade, which I love, and then some are like more encompassing, but it works. Like I love there's the freelancers union.
Exactly. And I love the way it's written out, like their constitution and how everything works. I just find it to be so fascinating. Yeah. And so effective because collective bargaining is everything. Everything. The more powerful you are is by your collective bargaining. And if you have somebody at the table, and also Fran said this last night, we are now the most powerful entertainment union in the world. We were powerful, but now we are the unquestioned because our contract is the best contract that's ever been for anyone.
It will be the blueprint for everyone else.
It will. So, I just want, it was awesome.
Blueprint for everyone else, not even in entertainment.
No, exactly.
Like other unions can use it as a blueprint because it's so strong.
Think about the Teamsters too. I mean, I know they were very frustrated and I know it was very hard. IATSE, Teamsters, everybody. That they were just like, fuck guys, like ours is coming up. We've already been out of work. We need to, but what this does is the AI protection especially guess what happens when there's not real actors? None of you guys have jobs either.
Exactly.
You know, and I think we had to wait this out. I feel for everyone that's upset. I feel for everyone that had to go through this. Believe me, I didn't want this to last longer than a day. It's bullshit that they even took longer. Because really what they did was go, never. And then they were like, and then fast forward 118 days. Okay. Like, why didn't we get here? Like, bitch, what the fuck?
Listen, maybe they had some lessons that needed to be
I think they
learned.
did, and they learned them. But I will say this has made me come more alive as a human being. I feel there's things in your life, like the first time I left the country and went to Japan, the first time my heart was broken, the first time I had a loss, the first time like I did acquired something, a level of something. It always levels us up as people, and I really just feel like this was not what we wanted, and it was definitely not what we needed, but it happened, and I think it's made me so much stronger and better. And I'm so honored to not only have been reelected, but to see what happens in my union service while my acting career continues to go up. And I think all of that is all combined. And I think that's all involved in being a rich bitch.
I think you're going to take Fran Drescher's job.
Oh, I love her so much.
I love her so much.
I would love to one day be the president of SAG-AFTRA. I'm not even going to, but I know what work I have to do.
Yeah.
To get there, and I'm here for it, but I'm also here to, I don't know, what I love is being respected by my peers, and I just feel so seen and respected by my peers, and that's the glory and the brilliance of doing what you love and being respected by the people around you. That's what I love about SAG-AFTRA. That's why the SAG Awards mean more to me than anything, because it's your peers voting on them.
Yeah.
It means so much to me. And, it's such a beautiful thing. And I'm so happy that we did this. I'm so happy we won. I'm so happy you were there with me.
I know. I wish I could have gone more, but I had
It's
so
fine.
much
I'm
fun.
so glad you were there. And Michael, and there's so many other people that aren't even in this union that showed the fuck up.
That's the thing that I loved the most about it, is being on the line and seeing people who were like in the retailers union and like truck drivers. Like it was just so wild to
Nurses.
see,
I was like, girl,
and
work.
teachers, and like it just was so great to see so much support from unions that have nothing to do
with us,
with SAG-AFTRA at all,
quote unquote. Yeah.
And it was great. That was my favorite part of the whole thing.
Me too. And it was unifying, and it also showed that as a human race, as a society, we are all interconnected. We all combine. We all are touching each other in some way. Like I go to this, you know what I'm saying? But when I go to the grocery store, I'm talking to somebody who works there. If I go to this, when they watch a movie, they're watching us on screen. We're all interconnected.
Of course.
Even indirectly. And I just loved that they all showed up. And I will show up for you. Look, whatever happens with IATSE and the team, IATSE coming up in terms of their contracts or equity, SAG-AFTRA is going to show the fuck up. So, because people showed up for us.
Yeah.
And we showed up for them. Do you know what I mean?
For real.
Because with United Auto Workers, we've continued to show up. The Writers Guild, we showed up from day one.
Well, and again, like you were saying about the ripple effect, like this negotiation, this agreement will also influence the agreements that others are going to be making.
Yep.
So I'm curious to see where this goes in the future.
I'm so excited.
And it kind of gives me a little bit less of an eye roll for the future of the industry in that it so often is so easy to feel not seen and taken advantage of without even doing anything. It's just like this massive pool of noise and people.
Yeah.
And so like, of course, the feeling of getting lost in there is palpable. And so now with these negotiations, it feels like, okay, like someone has my back.
100%.
And I don't think it, for me at least, has not felt that way. But this win, for me, feels like the scene,
we got this.
The seen and heard factor.
It is so seen and heard. I agree.
And I mean that on a general.
But that's the thing. It's like the jadedness of it all, the eye roll of it all. That's what they want us to do. They want us to be like, whatever, I'm out. Like, this isn't going to like, and this is wonderful because this is a group of humans, especially negotiating committee. I commend all of them, every single one of them. Even my friend Joseph, who didn't make it through the whole thing, but sacrificed his time. It was like it's like these people did all of that for this very reason. So we could have all the things we want and be seen and be supported and just have a living wage. And it's beautiful. And I'm so glad they didn't go, whatever, fuck, you know, they just never let up. And I'm so happy. I want everyone who's listening to this, who's a SAG-AFTRA member, to vote yes on this contract. Again, it is a blueprint. It is the start of something big. Is it perfect? I don't think it can be, but I think it's wonderful. And I think we have to support this to make progress. And it is really good. It's really fucking good.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Anyway, I love my union. I love my industry. I'm so proud to be part of it. And I'm so proud of this podcast. And I'm happy to see what's going to happen in the future. A lot of things have been ka baby.
Ooh.
I mean, what's so crazy is I made that meeting with my lit person. Shout out to Lene, love her. I made that meeting like a while ago, and it just so happened to be the day the strike ended.
So it was a very different meeting.
Literally. I thought we were just going to be like, hey, how's it going?
Right.
Yeah, I can't really sell any of this right now because I'd be a scabby bitch. I would never. Drew Barrymore. So sorry, but seriously. And Bill Maher. But I truly was like, yeah, I can't do, but then it was a totally different meeting. She's like, what you got? I was like,
here we go.
Here we go, babe. So I'm so pleased. I'm so happy with my reps too. I mean, I've already gotten an uptick in opportunities immediately.
Amazing.
So, and I did a great fun acting gig yesterday after it was my third thing of the day. So
You're nuts.
I'm fucking insane.
I don't know if I could do your schedule.
I know. I just love it.
It's nuts.
And then I have time of rest. It's so long.
I do appreciate that at my current desk job, I will have time to do emails and the things. And it's just, oh God, I cannot stress to people enough. Like, I know that waiting tables is money sometimes, but like, to be able to make money and sit at a desk with a computer and make shit happen.
Actually have an hourly, I know actual, well, you're not hourly, but you know what I mean? Have a salary, have a thing, because waiting tables, bruh, it is like literally whatever it is, $1, and it's all tips. It's so up in the air. Fuck that.
That's started to change a little bit. When I was bartending, I've
been out of it for so long.
I was getting $15 an hour.
Oh, wow.
And then tips.
Oh.
Which still,
like $2 and whatever, but I made tons of tips.
Right.
This was like 2009, 10, and then 11. I was like, we're
I fell on tipping culture TikTok the other day. And there was this woman and kind of breaking down why tipping is unnecessary and terrible. Because it's just, pay a living wage. Pay living wage.
But
so
really?
that we don't have to. And like her breakdown was much more intelligent than that. And
No, but I mean, it's simply
tired. I'm entirely too tired to get into the nitty-gritty of it
It's
all.
okay.
But yes, just pay people.
Pay me the dollars.
Pay me the dollars.
Wow, this was a fab episode.
This was a fab episode. Like all of our episodes have been like complete roller coasters.
Busters. Yeah, we're unhinged, and I think it's great.
I love it.
I think we're a wrecking ball. I think we're just like, but a beautiful one that doesn't wreck anything. My cat just like smashed out. Poor Cleo is Cleo is such a squishy little baboo right now because it's winter, so she's all squishy and like cuddly.
That's the excuse I'm going to use.
That's this little baboo right here, and every time we scream, she freaks out. She's like, "What?" But she stays.
We're gonna have to make a whole episode about this at some point. But I have an appointment on Tuesday to talk to someone with a medical background about putting my ass on Ozempic.
Oh my God. That's a great way to end it. Let's get into that.
Let's get into that.
All right, so put the Ozempic in the table.
You're so rich.
Pay me.